Hello, and welcome to episode 71 of Let's Talk Immigration. I'm starting a minute late. Sorry about that. First thing I wanted to cover is Morrison Urena on behalf of the Muhammad, Fong, Jong, and Kennedy plaintiffs. We filed our reply to the government's opposition to the motion to stay. And I'll go over that. Yeah, let me just start with that, and then we'll do questions and answers. Okay. I'll share my screen. So it was filed yesterday. Okay, Rafael Urena, my law partner, is the person who drafted this, but it's well drafted. Basically, the arguments are the defendants are less likely, the government's less likely to be successful in the appeal because of what the Circuit Court of Appeals has expressed in other cases since the time of the appeal, of the stay. And then also the defendants now have operational capacity to effectuate the court's final order. COVID is behind us, and the State Department's bragging about how many non-immigrant visas that they're issuing. They're issuing record numbers of those, so they have the capacity to fully implement the Gomez order. And then the third thing is the defendants are indifferent to the consequences of the court's stay, and that's misguided. Like, they pretend like there's no impact on our plaintiffs and the Gomez class members when that's insane. Some of them are in Afghanistan or Ukraine or Sudan or Gaza, where things are going crazy, and the impacts of this stay on them. We shouldn't have to. If the government wants me to put up pictures of tragedies that are happening to these families, we could do that, but the court, it's not necessary. The court should recognize that. Okay, and then this court has jurisdiction to vacate its stay. Okay, I've got something to talk about here. So the government argues that once Judge Mehta put the stay in effect, then he can't do anything about it because of this case called Griggs. Well, Raphael argued that Griggs, this is a case from 1982, so it's 40 some years old. In Griggs, the appeal conferred jurisdiction on the Court of Appeals and divest the district court over those aspects of the case involved in the appeal. Well, the implementation of this order is not an aspect that was implemented in the appeal. So I don't think this argument that the government made about Griggs is a very good argument. But even if it was, if Judge Mehta issues an order and says it was, by the way, I'm going to switch screens here. This is where the government actually argued this Griggs argument in their opposition. The filing of a notice of appeal divests the district court control of those aspects of the case involved. And they say that we're seeking relief from the wrong court. We've recently heard from Gomez Class Counsel, and they are interested in pursuing relief with the circuit court if Judge Mehta finds that Griggs is prevailing. So that's on hold. Have to give Judge Mehta time to respond to the motion that's fully briefed now. We filed our motion. The government filed their opposition, and we filed our reply. So the motion's fully briefed for Judge Mehta to make a decision. But at the same time, you have to realize Judge Mehta's docket is a very busy docket. He has many other cases, and we're not the only case that he has, So after he issues his order, if it's not what we're hoping, maybe there'll be a way where we could go to the Circuit Court of Appeals because of Griggs and get their attention. So that'll be the next step. Okay. So I know many of you are wondering about that. So I wanted to share that and get that out of the way. Also, if you ever wanted to see one of the filings in the lawsuit, you know you can still go to morrisonurena.com and up at the top, you've got diversity visa, and you can go to each year. And so the litigation for 2020 is there. The 2021 is there. And while 22 to 2024 doesn't matter anymore because there weren't any visas reserved in those years, well, 20 to 23, that's where we put stuff on the website, okay? That is the thing I wanted to cover today. The only other thing I wanted to cover is for family preference category visa applicants who are upset at the State Department for not issuing the annual allotment of family preference categories. It's F1, F2A, F2B, F3, F4. I'm doing something about it. I have a lawsuit where I have a hearing in LA with the government's motion to dismiss on April 29th, where I'm arguing that it is unlawful for the government to let those visas roll over to employment categories when the demand exceeds the supply. Like the idea that the Congress had was those visas could roll over to employment if there's not a demand. Well, guess what? There's a huge, enormous demand. That's why some family preference category applicants have to wait 20 years. 30 years, huge demand. So I'm actually making that argument in every mandamus that we file now. We're making that argument for mandamuses for NVC, like for family preference categories. If you haven't been scheduled for an interview, we're making that argument. So now is a great time to file a mandamus lawsuit with me, with anybody. I don't know, because we're going to make that argument. Okay. I'm going to go to question and answers, but before I do, I'm going to give you all an opportunity. If you want to join me on the screen, I'm sharing the link to do that. If you can ask your question orally, and I'm sharing it in the comments on YouTube and Facebook. It might show up on Twitter. I don't know. Let me type this, to join on screen to ask a question. And then what happens, you click on the link, you go backstage, you have to have your audio and camera on for it to work right, okay? And it just got shared to YouTube and Facebook comments. Okay, now let me go to the top of the questions here. I got a question submitted before I even showed up. DV 2020 is very grateful for the work they have done, and the latest news is very hopeful. I just wanted to greet you from Cuba. Hola, David. Could you put the link to be informed about the Gomez class through your emails? Gladys keeps working at her law firm. Gracias por siempre. Okay, Gladys is a paralegal that is no longer with Morrison Urena. She is now with Raphael's other law firm. But the link for the Gomez class, I will drop that in the comments right here. As Gomez class members, Gomez attorneys represent them. And I have dropped that link in the comments. And it is posting. Okay. And then next question. Thank you for that question. Gracias. Nasib says, what about DV 2021 plaintiffs? Plaintiffs in what lawsuit, Nasib? I like questions that are specific. If you're a plaintiff in the Good Luck lawsuit, then you need to await the outcome of the appeal. Okay? We do not have the outcome of the appeal. Omar says, nice day for DV 2020. Behalf DV 2021, good luck. Thanks for the efforts and hard work for plaintiffs. We appreciate your team work for us. You're welcome, Omar. We are positive more than before. Much love and respect. Thank you. With respect to this motion, though, I kind of don't want to steal credit. Raphael did this motion to lift the stay. It was his idea. He's the one that did the motion. He's the one that did the reply. So if it works, Okay. If the motion is accepted, be granted, okay, and the government appeal, will the visas issue without waiting for the appeal court to accept their appeal? Yeah, that's what we asked for. That's what we're asking for. So if the Judge Mehta grants the motion, then that's what happens. Okay. Hassan says, hi, sir, if we will ask from appeal court about vacate the stay order. It's funny you mentioned that. Did you mention that after I talked about it? No, you asked this question before I talked about it. That's smart. We can add info about the system is ready for issuing visas, and second factor about the stay is wait for plaintiffs, no harm for government. That is correct, Hassan. It is unlikely that we will ask the appeal court to vacate the stay order until we give Judge Mehta an opportunity to vacate it himself. Maybe a few weeks, maybe a couple months, somewhere in there. Artur says, hi, Artur. And your question is, I hope you're doing well. My question concerns the winners of DB 2021. Okay, Artur, the majority of the winners of DB 2021, their journeys ended October 1st, 2021. The journeys that continue are for a narrow section of 2021. Good luck, plaintiffs. And plaintiffs are a go. And the plaintiffs who can benefit from the order in Ray, which means they were waiting on specific embassies. Okay, so let me see if this is your question. Is it possible to change the status of a plaintiff in good luck if the plaintiff is currently in the USA? The answer today, the answer is not because of good luck. No, there's no path to that. But even if we beat the appeal, we do not know if there will be a path to that. And even if there were a path to that, even if the state will let those visas be used as green cards inside the U.S. through adjustment of status, it's unlikely. But even if we get there, then you would need to be eligible for adjustment of status, which requires more eligibility steps than are required for a visa at a consulate. For example, you have to have lawful status to adjust status. So a lot of people that are inside the United States may not have lawful status to be able to adjust status. So that could be a problem. But as of today, no, you cannot adjust status because you're a good luck plaintiff. How can you reach me? I've tried several times, but no one answers the call. So I don't know what your number you're calling, but I answer my phone when I'm available to answer it. If I'm on the other line, I don't answer it. Okay, I can't talk to two people at the same time. I'm going to put my phone number in the comments. Actually, I'm going to put my phone number on the banner. Let me do that. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. Banner. Create a banner. This is my phone number. I can make it scroll. No, I can't. That's too hard. That's a little bit too much. Okay. Anyway, this is my cell phone number. If I don't answer, text me. Okay. Let me go back to questions. Oh, I've got somebody that's backstage that's ready to ask a question. Let's take them. Hello, MT. How are you?
Hey, Curtis. Good. How are you?
I'm great.
Hey, I just wanted to give you an update. Actually, I contacted you via Telegram previously, and I wanted to let you know that my 485 actually got approved, and I just got the card, and while my AP is actually pending.
Wow. So you were the experiment person, because
Correct.
a lot of people have been asking me, can they do that?
Correct.
So to recap for the audience, if you are in AP, and you had a DS 5535 too, didn't you?
I did. Well,
Yeah.
no. Sorry, correction.
You
No, it's the TAL one, I think. It's the CV one.
Were you asked
Yeah.
questions at the interview about after the interview about your social media history and travel history?
Social media, yes. Travel, yes. But I also asked for my CV.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, anyway, you're in AP.
Correct.
So MT situation, he's in AP, awaiting final adjudication of the visa after the interview, gets impatient, uses a lawful means to enter the United States, does adjustment of status here, and it works, and now he's got a green card.
Correct.
So I'll tell
I
you
just
what.
wanted to share the good news, and I know I'm sure a lot of people will come to you to ask this question, and I was probably one of the first ones to actually ask you about this several months ago, and I'm glad I did, and I proceeded. Everything was legal. We actually attended our interview, and we cleared everything. We actually had a USCIS interview as well, so everything was clear. It was very clear that like they were aware the AP is ongoing, but they still approved us nonetheless. So it just goes to show that. I'm not exactly sure what's the purpose of the AP process, but
yeah, it wasn't necessary. So I'm curious, did you use an immigration attorney for your adjustment of status?
I did not. I completed everything on my own.
Did it on your own, and you went to the interview on your own, and it still worked out. That's great news. Okay. Well, thank you for that feedback.
I wanted to share because I understand the struggles that I'm sure a lot of people are undergoing, and hearing some people. Absolutely, I'm hearing people, being separated from their families, missing birthdays, missing really important events. It really it goes out to my heart goes out to them basically. So I really wanted to share. Hopefully, this information benefits some people out there.
It definitely will. So thank you very much for sharing that.
All right, thank you, and thank you for everything you do. Take care, Curtis.
Take care. Bye. Okay. Was not expecting such good news. Did I miss any questions? There was a tweet of you that talked about Muslim ban, way it doesn't include DV while it was class action lawsuit. Okay, what Omar's talking about is there was this lawsuit filed in 2017 called Amami versus Pars. No, that's not the name of the lawsuit. Amami versus, it was Trump, now it's Biden. Pars was another part of it because it was two lawsuits that were consolidated in the Northern District of California. This lawsuit was about the waiver of the Muslim ban, 9645. Okay. That lawsuit procedurally has gone up and down. But just recently, this week, the plaintiffs were appointed as class representatives, and the council was appointed as class counsel to represent the people that were denied under the Muslim ban that still haven't been issued a visa. Excluded from that class are people that have already applied again and got a visa because, you don't need relief anymore. You got your visa. And diversity visa selectees. The reason diversity visa selectees, I'm thinking the reason the judge excluded them is because even if the waiver situation of 9645 was no longer a problem for you, you still don't have a path to a visa generally because those fiscal years are over. Now, one thing Judge Donato didn't realize is there were Gomez class members, a different class, who were denied under 212F and were waiting for visas. But their journeys are not over, and I don't think they need relief from this class anyway because of the nature of... We had this challenge in Gomez. We dealt with the 212F issue in Gomez, in Mohammed Fong Jung Kennedy Gomez. Acre. I should really say Acre because Charles Cuck was part of this. So if you're DV 2020, even though you're not a class member of the new Amami class, don't be stressed out because you're still a class member of Gomez. And so you may still have relief. Okay. So confusing. There's the link to join. It's in comments if you want to join and ask me a question on screen. Karok is, I'm a participant in good luck. When do you think the Court of Appeals will announce the result? Okay. I do not think about things that I cannot know. I'm just weird like that. Like, I know that I don't know when this is going to happen, so I'm not going to speculate about it. I'd rather focus on things I can figure out. Same question. Saranda says hi and good morning. And I'm from Nepal. What about DV 2021 nowadays? Okay. Majority of DV 2021 selectees, your journeys were over October 1st, 2021. The journeys that survive for Nepal are plaintiffs in good luck. So if you're a plaintiff in good luck, say I'm a plaintiff in good luck. Not that you're a DV 2021 selectee. Most DV 2021 selectees, it's over. So if you're a plaintiff in good luck, I want you to understand it's your role as a plaintiff in good luck that is your path to relief. We still continue to await the outcome of the appeal. Okay. Faisal says, sorry, I came late to the live. It's okay, Faisal. It's the first time you've ever been late, and this is episode 71. So it's okay. Any news about Meta possibly responding to that? I do not have news, but Judge Meta is a judge that is known for issuing orders on motions and not letting them linger indefinitely forever. He is also a judge with a very busy docket. So be patient and respectful, and we'll get an order from him eventually. Joseph says, it is stated that the DV 2022 was closed back in September 30th, 2022. This left me wondering after the same United States Embassy took me through all the necessary steps regarding my status. DV 2022 is over. Okay? Nothing we can do about that. State Department did a great job at the last minute, and they actually issued all 55,000 visas. Same with DV 2023. So, although it wasn't last minute. So, if you were 2022 selectee, 2023 selectee, and you were not issued a visa, those journeys are over. Look forward to the future. Okay, Hassan has a question here. If we win circuit court at the appeal, government needs, again, permission from the general solicitor for going to the Supreme Court. Every time they need permission from general solicitor, Gomez case. This is an interesting procedural question that I've never researched, but I'm almost positive that the State Department needs the Department of Justice needs the general solicitor's permission to go to the Supreme Court, because the general solicitor is the human that goes before the Supreme Court. That is the job of the general solicitor, to represent the U.S. government before the Supreme Court. So I think that they would need that person's permission. The follow-up question you may have is like, do I think the Biden administration would appeal a negative order from the circuit court to the Supreme Court? You know, I would hope that they would not, but I have not been able to predict what this administration will do. Okay. They surprise me all the time. For those that may not know, the latest surprise from last week, actually, there's been more surprises since then, but I have learned that 2024, they have just decided, is going to be the year of the immigrant visa. They haven't announced that anywhere except to the immigration attorneys. And some of us are skeptical, because why would you wait until 3 months of a year are passed to say it's the year of the immigration visa? It's more like the 9 months of the immigration visa, and that's if they start in the next couple days. And also they're going to, part of that is they're going to put forth 2 different kinds of resources, both human resources, meaning they're going to hire more people, hopefully for embassies, and also for the SAC office. And they're going to try to do more of the vetting that's putting people in 221G in advance of the interview. That's fascinating to me because it's one of the things that I asked for, that I say that the government is doing wrong, and I did in the Taharian case and the PARS lawsuit and the Westways lawsuit, group lawsuits. So it's one of those things where I'm suing the State Department because I'm saying they're wrong. They're in court, they're opposing us and saying, no, what we're doing is right. And then they're changing their policies to kind of do what we were asking for. So that's interesting. Never a dull moment litigating against the State Department. Another development, the Foreign Affairs Manual was updated recently to change, like we quoted language in our reply in the, not our reply, our opposition in the PARS lawsuit, PARS versus Blinken group lawsuit. And 2 days after we filed that opposition, the government went in and changed the language that we quoted from the Foreign Affairs Manual. They changed it. And then my colleague, my friend Rabia showed me that a page of the Foreign Affairs Manual disappeared since like a couple weeks ago. So you never know what's going to happen with the State Department. They're a little crazy. Omar has another question. Was granting a stay in Gomez's case a mistake? I'm not disrespectful of Judge Mehta's decisions, but just thinking rationally. I think at the time Judge Mehta granted the stay in Gomez, if he did not grant it, the State Department would have sought a stay from the Circuit Court of Appeals. And I don't know what would have happened at that point. I don't know. So it's hard to guess, speculate, and also it doesn't serve a purpose. Like I can't guess how things would have been differently, but also I don't see a benefit in it. Okay, for 2020, there is something. Need more to the question. If you're one of our 2020 clients, you got an email last night with an update about the reply that we filed in a reply to the government's opposition to the stay. Okay. Reya, I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name right. It is likely that Judge Mehta will vacate the stay order for the other cases as they're all consolidated for the appeal court as good luck. The good luck stay is a different stay order than the Gomez stay order. Procedurally, it's very different. The Gomez stay order is about staying the implementation of an order. Like we already won summary judgment in Gomez. In good luck, we have not yet won summary judgment. So the stay order is a way for Judge Mehta to put off issuing an unnecessary order and that may not matter until the outcome of the appeal. So good luck's a little bit differently situated. That makes sense than Gomez. Joseph says, included submission of my passport to the embassy, mandatory medical. Okay, your DV 2022, right? Let me look up here. Yes, your journey was over October 1st, 2023, 2022. 2022, DV over. Sorry. You were DV 2021. Well, what happened? If you were not a plaintiff in good luck and you did not benefit from the Ray order, your journey ended October 1st, 2021. Okay. I am flooded with DV 2021 selectees thinking that they're going to get magic relief when they were not participants in the good luck order and they were not benefiting from the Ray order, and that's just not going to happen. Those journeys are over. Relia says, is it likely for Judge Mehta to vacate the stay order for the other cases since they're all consolidated? Oh, I already answered that. Hassan says, in the stay order, Judge Mehta say he will not wait for mandate and will vacate the stay in first positive opinion. True. Technical question, how long usually between appeal court opinion and mandate? Hassan, I hope you're going to law school because the question you're asking a lot of good questions about civil procedure that I should know the answer to, and I don't know the answer to. I have not done research on that. I think that sometimes, though, there can be a delay between those two things. Good judges will issue their opinion and then they'll issue their order related to that opinion immediately, and there will not be a delay. But I think sometimes that doesn't always happen. Okay, Joseph says, until my immigration status had been completed, Joseph, DV 2022 is over. There's nothing I can do to change that. Okay. That's all the questions we have. So thank you, everybody, for asking questions. I don't see any more questions. I don't have anything else to talk about. I'm going to throw out a tip real quick. If you are a visa holder, immigrant visa holder, and you're coming to the U.S. and you're wanting to get your green card in the mail, because that's how green cards come, do not put in a change of address because green cards are not forwarded. If you do that, your green card will get sent back to USCIS and you will not get a green card for a year. And you will have to go through an expensive process to get it. Instead, have the green card sent to the address that you told the State Department and USCIS that you live at, and you be there and get that green card. Do not do a change of address, okay? Another tip, take a piece of paper, write your name on it. My name's Curtis. Like that. Tear that piece of paper off. Fold it like this. Take a piece of tape and tape this inside the mailbox where your green card's supposed to arrive. That way, the mail person knows that you live there. You would not believe how many times this does not happen correctly. The green card, the mail person returns the green card back to USCIS. The lawful permanent resident, to get a green card, has to do a new process, pay $500 in fees, and wait a year for their green card. So please follow my little simple tip there. Looks like a couple questions came in after there. Sam said hello. Hello, Sam. Sushin said DV 2020 about. You're going to need to start putting more words with your question. I've talked about this already in this live, but DV 2020 update, we filed a reply to the government's opposition to our motion for stay, and now we're waiting for the judge to weigh in on that motion, the motion to lift the stay. Okay, Hassan said, thanks for everything, dear Curtis. And pink waving. And pink waving. Oh, that was you tried to use a emoticon, and it did that funny thing where it describes the emoticon. That's funny. Okay. Joseph said, Joseph, DV 2020 is over. There's nothing. Let this go. Move on. Okay. And that concludes episode 71 of Let's Talk Immigration. I will see you next Wednesday. Oh my gosh, will that be April? I think it will be April. I will see you in April for episode 72 of Let's Talk Immigration.